I just wanted to give a big thank you to BetMGM for bringing me on as a sponsored content creator. I really appreciate the opportunity and the trust. I'm excited to be part of the team and looking forward to creating some great content together. Let's get to work. I'm going to start this vlog with 2 words: tournament day. I'm going to let you think about that as I drive down to the Aria. So here we are at the Aria to play a $1,600, $500,000 guarantee, no limit hold'em tournament as a brand new BetMGM poker ambassador. And you guys know how I am with tournaments. You know how I am with tournaments. Look at this face. It says tournaments.
Been waiting for a chance to just let loose and do my thing.
Tournament Jamin is back. Not only am I playing a tournament today, but I'm most likely playing a tournament later this week. 2 tournaments this week alone, and then the BetMGM Championship later. Are they ready for this? Are y'all ready for Tournament Jamin? Let's go.
Got a feeling that you won't regret if you keep your eyes on me. I'm gonna stop for a minute, listen to the rhythm that is slip under my skin. And when the moment is right, I'll step in the light. This is where it all begins.
Good luck, everyone. Tournament dealers, go ahead. Get them in the air. 1, 2, 2, button the 3.
Watch this, it's a brand new thing. Make sure that you don't bleed. Get ready, I got something that you can't miss. Watch this.
So let's jump right into this thing. I arrive at the Aria early, mainly because I wanted to capture some footage, get some food, get my bearings, visit some friends, and just get comfortable before all the pokering began. All that being said, I was present and seated at the very beginning. Level 1, hand 1. And the table was playing 4-handed. Great. This gives me a chance to get my tournament legs under me as I settle in for what might be a long day. The game starts 4-handed, and I fold a couple of hands and then get dealt King 3 of clubs in the cutoff, which also happens to be the under the gun spot currently. This feels like it should be something, and that something should be an open. I make it 500. The big blind tosses in the extra 300, and just like that, we're in our first hand of the day. Ace, ace, 6. The big blind checks, and this flop feels like it should be something I like. I bet as small as humanly possible. 1 big blind. And that does the trick. So technically in this game, we are 5-handed. However, 1 player hasn't shown up yet and is getting blinded off. That missing player is now in the big blind, so his ante, plus blinds, and hand are forfeited when this hand begins. The button limps and I complete from the small blind with 8-6 offsuit. Jack, deuce, 9 with 2 spades. There's really nothing going on for me here, so I check. The button checks it back. The turn brings the 10 of spades, which does give me a little something something. Kinda. I decide to lead out for 400, hoping just to snatch the dead chips without too much hassle. That works. It's level 1, yeah, but we're on the uptick. Four-handed, you normally end up playing a lot of hands. Here, I'm technically back in the hijack, but kind of the cutoff under the gun spot, and open queen 9 of clubs to 500. Both the small and big blinds call. 9-4-4 with 2 spades. Action is checked to me, and top pair here feels monsterish. I continue for 1/3 pot, and only the small blind decides to continue. The turn jack of spades isn't what I really wanted to see. The small blind checks, and I have 0 reasons to bet now either. The river 5 of diamonds isn't anything to write home about, and when the small blind checks again, I follow behind as quickly as possible. He tables ace-queen offsuit, which, I'm not going to lie, it kind of surprised me, as I drag another one in. About 20 minutes in, the missing player shows up, so now we are legitimately five-handed. His presence begins with him limping under the gun. Then the cutoff limps. Then the button limps. And I look down at... and the small blind completes the train. I know I'm squeezing here. I know it. I'm not sure the appropriate size, though. I come up with 1,200, and in quick succession, everyone folds. In hindsight, I probably should have gone larger, but it worked. Live and learn. Poker-wise, nothing really happens in level 2. My friend Abby came by to say hi, as did my friend Casey, but as far as poker goes, there was a lot of raise and take it going on, like you see me doing here with ace-queen offsuit. But for the most part, this level was all folding. By the time that level 3 rolls around, our table has grown to 7-handed. And I played my first interesting hand here. At 200, 400, 400, the cutoff opens to 1,100, and I flat from the small blind with Jack 10 of hearts. Getting a great price, the big blind comes in too. Jack 8, 9. This is obviously a good flop for my exact hand, and the table is playing pretty passively, so I just donk for 1K. The big blind exits at this point, but the cutoff comes along with little delay. The turn king of spades throws water all over my big pot plans, and I check. The cutoff doesn't. He bets 2,000, which isn't quite enough to scare me off continuing. I call. The river 10 of spades feels like a yuck card. Although it gives me 2 pair, the backdoor flush completes, and there's now a one-liner to a straight. All I can beat are bluffs, and the field isn't really bluffing much yet. I check, and thankfully the cutoff just opens his hand. He shows me that he's flopped bottom 2 pair with 9-8 of hearts, and I just rivered him. Hey, I'll take the early stage run good. Right after that hand, I noticed that Alexander Lovelace was snapping a picture of me for Poker.org, and although we knew of each other, we had never officially met. Until now.
Oh, you're so cute. Like, some people like just stare at me,
Yeah.
and then they like, I know that they don't know what to do, so it's like fair. I'm not upset, but like, I'm like, just smile, just be yourself.
It's so hard for
It's
me.
like 3 seconds video.
It's so hard for me not to be ridiculously good looking. You know what I mean? So like I understand. It's nice officially meeting you. Yeah.
Good luck, man.
Thanks.
All these cute girls, you're a magnet, man.
It's a curse, you know? It's a curse.
Go ahead, tell your friends, but I bet they won't believe. Yeah, you never would have guessed, but I got a few tricks up my sleeve. Gonna stop for a minute, 'cause you don't wanna miss it. I can't hold it back for long.
This was also a not much happened level, and then we were all sent on our first 15-minute break.
Watch this, it's a brand new thing. Make sure that you don't bleed. Get ready, I got something that you can't miss.
The first break. We made it to the first break, so we're doing something. We're not playing many hands, but we're doing something.
Watch this.
So we found this one. But she's officially not in the tournament because poker.
Get back in there. They can't stop me.
So everyone returns from break and I'm on the button. I sit down, get situated, and notice that the stakes are now 300, 500, 500. And then I peek down at my hand and I have pocket tens. The problem is I don't have anything set up to record yet. I quickly begin fumbling around trying to get my phone on the stand as the low jack opens to 1300 and gets called by the hijack. It's seriously a mad rush to get recording and look casual as I'm doing it. I get everything set up in record time and look at my hand again as if I don't know what I have. This is where recording in this hand picks up. Action on me, and I'm physically fine, but mentally, I'm out of breath, if that makes any sense. I call, and the three of us head to 9-6 deuce rainbow. Low jack and hijack check it over to me, and without making a set, I couldn't ask for a much better board. I take the betting lead, tossing 1500 into the pot. The low jack calls, and the hijack folds. Heads up. The turn 4 of diamonds is really no worry. The low jack checks again. Now I toss 3,000 into the pot, which at this point in the tournament and at this table is a meaning business size. The low jack still calls. The river is the 5 of diamonds and the low jack checks once more. Honestly, I just chickened out on the river and checked it back. He tables ace-king offsuit for the double float that didn't materialize, and although it's results-oriented, I feel a little less bad as I didn't miss value that I would have missed had he showed me something like ace-9. The very next hand as the cutoff, I open to 1K with king-10 offsuit and get called by the button and the big blind. The big blind checks the jack of spades, 4 of hearts, 7 of spades flop, and I don't c-bet this one. Both these villains just have too many continues for me to realistically get through them, and I don't have much going on here myself. The button stabs for 900, and both myself and the big blind let him have it. Still on level 4, and I pick up pocket queens from early position and open to 1000. The cutoff, whom hasn't played a hand that I can remember, 3 bets to 3,000. I continue with a call. Heads up. 10 of spades, 10 of clubs, 9 of spades. I check the action over to him and he continues for 2,500. I debate on a small check raise here, but nix that idea. This player hasn't played much, is still uncapped, and I don't bank on him just assuming I have trips or better because I check raised. I exercise some caution and just call. The turn ace of diamonds basically shuts me down. I check again, knowing that a lot of his 3-betting range may have connected now. He checks the ace back. The river brings another ace, the ace of hearts. That second ace makes me feel a bit better about my queens, but I still check. He thinks for a minute and tosses out 1,600. I really should have thought my next action through a bit more, because I can only beat one hand here. King Jack suited. I'm blocking King Queen and Queen Jack. King 10, Queen 10, well, those are trips. I lose to all other aces, and there'd be zero reason for him to bet something like pocket jacks or a smaller pair. At game speed, I didn't think about all that and just paid off the 1,600, and he shows me ace-5 of clubs.
You did that with a lot less flair than I would have, but alas, it's summer and the children are on holiday.
Shaman, why'd you interrupt the... Listen, I know, I don't come to you very often like this, so just listen, people. So, we have to talk about what's going on in about a week's time. For the 4th year in a row, here at the Aria. The BetMGM Championships. $3 million guarantee. $3 million guarantee. That's insane. But I'll be there. Ashley will be there. Darren will be there too. You should be there. There's a players party on June 29th. And then the cards are in the air for day 1A on June 30th and day 1B on July 1st. Go look at your schedule. You're not even doing anything on those 2 days. And if you are doing something, you're probably not doing anything with the $3 million guarantee, I promise you that. And I probably don't even know you. There will be a feature table live streamed from Poker Go on day 3. And then the final table live streamed on day 4. Do you want to be on TV? Who doesn't want to be on TV? You should. Okay, I hear you. You need a warm-up for the championship. I got you. June 29th, $1,100 mystery bounty, $500,000 guarantee. So here's the plan. Yeah, I'm giving you the plan. Plan on playing both of these events, but do me a personal favor and don't win them both. Leave a little something for the rest of us.
Still in level 4, and I open to 1K from under the gun 1 spot and only get action from the big blind via a call. Jack, Jack 4 Rainbow. Well, I like that. The big blind checks and I continue for 1 big blind as I would with my entire range in this configuration. He quickly calls. The turn 9 of spades falls and he checks again. I don't want to lose him, so I just bet 1.5K and again, another quick call. The river ace of clubs is very polarizing. It's either really good for whatever he's calling me with, or really bad. He checks again. I lean into the glass half full way of thinking and now bet 4,000. The fact that I bet again, or my sizing, must have hit a nerve because he goes deep, deep, deep into the tank. For over 1 minute, he sits there agonizing on what to do before eventually folding. There were really only 2 hands of any merit during level 5. Here's the first. The under the gun 1 player opens to 1500 at 300, 600, 600, and without much delay, I noticed the low jack calling as I look down at pocket aces. I raise to 5K with almost 100% certainty that the opener is going to call me because folding really wasn't his thing. The low jack calls as well. He's the wild card, as he hasn't played many hands, but any big hands he did play, he played fast. He didn't trap. He's a fast player. 3 ways to a flop of 9, 7, 6 with 2 hearts. This isn't my dream flop versus 2 callers. Not by a long shot. Both players check to me. I'm rarely betting big on this flop, but versus one guy that calls everything and another guy that fast plays and didn't launch at this flop, I feel okay. It's risky, but what in life isn't? I continue for 10K and hold my breath. Both players find folds. The only other hand I really got into was the last hand of the level and began with me opening pocket kings from under the gun to 1300 and getting raised to 4K by the player next to act. Oh, yum. Before action gets back to me though, the hijack, the same player that began tight, had success versus me with ace-5 of clubs, but then lost every other pot he entered, moves all in for 9,200. With the original 3-better having about 35K, I could just back 4-bet, get it in, and deal with the consequences, but I take the cautious route. I call. He calls as well, and we head to the flop with a protected pot. 6, 4, 8 rainbow. We both check. Jack of diamonds. Another round of checking. Deuce of hearts. I can't check anymore and bet 9K targeting queens basically, but he folds. The all-in player tables ace of diamonds, king of clubs, and the chips we lost earlier with pocket queens are returned to us.
It's something that you can't miss. Watch this. Watch this. Let me break it down for you. I could paint a new picture. Something so different. Could turn it on, let it run. If you're down to have some fun, keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Watch this, it's a brand new thing. Make sure that you don't bleed. Get ready, I got something that you can't miss. Watch this.
For me, level 6 was basically another level of nothingness. And then we all took another 15-minute break.
Is there a break?
Yeah.
Like now, right? Yeah.
So a little stumble with pocket queens. A little bit. I'm not that mad at it, but I'm a little mad, but I'm not that mad at it. Stumbled with pocket queens. Redemption with kings and aces both. And we made it to another break. We have about 60K coming back to 500, 1K at level 7. So I think that means something good. Okay. I don't know. We're still in it. That's what's important.
Pretty early on in level 7, I looked down at pocket kings, again from early position. I opened at 2,500. The only action I get is from the small blind, who has been on a tear as of late, playing a lot of hands pretty aggressively and winning a good portion of them. We go to the flop heads up. Ace 8 deuce. The small blind checks. There's one card on this flop that makes it very undesirable for me. Can you guess which it is? Yeah, from my early position open, I could rep the ace pretty credibly, but that's going to lead down a path of multiple barrels and praying. I'm not sure I want to go down that path just yet. I check it back. The turn pairs the deuce, and we both check this street too. The river 10 of hearts isn't one of the two remaining kings I hoped it would be. The small blind now leads for 3K, and I call, hoping to only pick off bluffs, as I doubt he'd bet with a rivered pair. But I lose the extra 3 big blinds to ace 4 suited. There's always one hand in every session that sticks out. It's not always a big hand you won or a big hand you lost, it's just one you remember for one reason or another. In this session for me, it's the following hand. It begins with the under the gun player limping, and the player that I had categorized as a tight, fast player raising to 2,500. I've yet to see him 3-bet anything all day, so instantly my senses were heightened. In position versus both of them, I flat with pocket jacks from the cutoff, basically capping my range to something like my exact hand. The under the gun player calls the extra 1,500, and 3 of us head to a flop. Deuce, deuce for rainbow. The under the gun player checks, and the hijack continues for 2,500. Knowing that I'm still ahead of a few hands he might play this way, basically just 9s and 10s, I call. The under the gun player calls too. The turn is a 9. The under the gun player checks again, and now the hijack bets 7,500. I remember this hand because everything in my being was telling me to fold here. Is it possible that he has 10s? Yeah. But it's more probable that he has queens, kings, or aces. What's not probable is him bluffing like this. Just fold, Jamin. I call. The under the gun player calls behind me. Okay, I'm dead. The river pairs the 9, and the under the gun player finds another check. The hijack continues for 12,000. I quickly wake up to the fact that I'm in a world of hurt here and fold. The under the gun player folds behind me, and the hijack wins a pot that has an extra 7,500 in it from me that it probably shouldn't have. He and I had been chatting on and off throughout the day, and he told me that he had kings. That tracks.
Queens?
Kings.
Kings?
No.
I see. At jacks.
I got something that you can't miss. Watch this.
As level 7 ended and level 8 began, my chip stack was moving in the wrong direction. I looked to turn that around with ace-queen offsuit in the cutoff and opened to 2,500. The player on the button then 3-bets me to 7,500. His 3-bets were beginning to happen more frequently. I don't know if it was because of how he saw me play kings versus him, or if he was just picking up legit hands, but I was done with it. I move all in for 26,800, and he snap folds. Pretty shortly after that, the button opens to 2,500 and the small blind min raises to 5,000. I wake up in the big blind with, oh God, not like this. I move all in again and get 2 quick folds. The last hand of level 8 was also the final hand I play. Yeah, spoiler, I don't win this tournament. Begins with me opening pocket jacks from under the gun 1 to 2,500 and a shorter stack on the button flatting me. The player in the small blind, whom I referenced earlier as playing a lot of pots and being overly aggressive, squeezes to 10,600. I move all in for 46,200, knowing that the small blind is squeezing light and hoping to get heads up with the button. The button calls for less. Yes. But then the small blind also calls and shows us pocket aces. Oh no.
Good luck, guys.
A poor boy ain't got no money. He ain't got no dough.
So they got us. They got us today. More specifically, Jacks got us today. I paid off a street on the turn. I probably shouldn't have paid off with Jacks versus Kings. And then I lost the rest of my chips with Jacks versus Aces and 10-9 suited. So today wasn't our day for a tournament, but let's hope it's Thursday. Because in a mere 4 days from now, we will be back here at the Aria playing another tournament. Odds are we'll win that one. But until then, if you like the vlogs, leave me a comment. I'll probably respond and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye.